Hello pump fans. So today I'm going to do a short video, probably about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm just going to go through some of the key features of our LS H100 Plus product, which is, if not the best, one of the best fan and pump products on the market today. So today we're not going to focus on the fan part of this, which is very stout, but we're going to talk about what we've done on the pump side. So it has a lot of new features, but what we want to do is kind of show and tell. So it'll be a lot more interesting just seeing is believing, right? So we have a little AC motor, which will act as simulate as our pump. Of course, we have our H100 Plus drive. We have a 4 to 20 milliamp output, little generator here. And of course, we have a 10-inch HMI, which is connected to the keypad port on the RS45 there with a RJ45 jack. So this we'll go through this setup. So here's the date and time. I set that up earlier so you wouldn't be bored with me doing that. Here's the motor capacity, base frequency, the poles, all that stuff we set up. Very easy to do. And we have a motor map. You select a motor map, and then based upon the nameplate of the motor, you enter your data. Command source is keypad, because we are actually, remember, we're connected to the keypad port, so that's where it is. The auto mode select is disabled, and what that means is that if we were to have an error, a fault, or go to sleep, the drive comes from the factory preconditioned to be able to have a signal or a connection, like either a keypad or external signal, to restart it. In this case, we don't want to do that. If it goes into sleep mode, we want it to come out of sleep mode without having another signal go to it from a keypad or an external device. We want it to be self-contained within the logic of the drive. So the stop method is decel. Hand run direction is forward. Of course, you can change that. If you wire up your pump wrong, you could change that very easily. And we'll go from there. So we'll select forward, and hand frequency is 40 Hertz. AC input, there's on the drive settings. We basically have a 3 kilohertz carrier frequency. Once again, all this is very selectable. There's your XLs and DCLs. And PID is selected. Set point is keypad. There's different types. You can say yes or no. PID Unit Selection. PID Unit Scale is times 10. And here's our 100% PSI. All very easy to do in a very, very fast manner. And our set point is 60 PSI. Our transducer setting, which I said, remember, this is our little transducer here. It is basically a 4 to 20 milliamp setup, and if you needed to take a look at that graphically, we'll show you. There's the 4 is at 0, and then 100% of the scale is 20 milliamps. And then here's the PID sleep. We got it set for 30 Hertz. We have different types. You can disable it. Output frequency, output current, feedback value, output RPM, and flow rate. All those there, and then here's other settings that you can use also. I won't bore you by going through them all. Wake up type is deviation. You also have a choice for absolute, but in this case we're going to use deviation. Wake up PSI is 20, and wake up time delay is 1 second. And here's an explanation to kind of show you what the difference between wake up and absolute, where the ranges and how they're deployed graphically. Thrust bearing protection is at 30 Hertz. Thrust decel is 2 seconds. Thrust decel times 5. All completely configurable, just as we said. And we should use the recommendation of your pump very easily to get that in there. Soft fill capabilities, if you need to know what that is, here's a quick graphic. Here's the soft fill zone, and that just stair steps you when you're starting at 0 to get to a set point that's high. You don't want to run very fast up there, because the drive could accelerate fast, and that might cause issues with your pump, and we don't want to damage it, so we want to gradually get up to the set point in a controlled manner. So low high back feedback, here's your settings on that, different types of feedback modes and timings and PSE levels and hysteresis. Reset and restart, so we have it for 3 retries, 5 seconds apart. And then here's your direct input settings. We have forward, reverse, external trip, reset, speed, low, medium, and high. And then have relays for trip and run. And then power on, yes. Flying start also. 2, there's different types. I won't get into the details explaining them, but depending on your application, you can select those to give you the right type of flying start. Trip and coast, overload protection, time, the motor is self-cooling, if it was, and then different other parameters you can set. So here we are. We're going to get this started by hitting the auto mode twice. So we're at 6 milliamps, which basically is 11 psi. Here's our set point over here. So as we ramp this up, I just forgot to hit the calibration key there. So we ramp this up. We're going to get close to the set point, and now we've hit over 60 psi. We're at 62. So now you notice that the motor is going to a sleep mode, and it will slowly ramp down. But let's say the pressure drops down again. It will go right back seamlessly. Now, if we wanted to simulate a transducer wire break or some sort of failure of the 4 to 20 milli pressure transducer, all we have to do is get down to below 6 milliamps or under the 10 psi level, and we notice we have a low feedback level. The drive is going to stop the motor. So we have a flashing warning where it was our thrust mode protection, as always. Configurable if you choose to use it, if you need it. And we're going back once again. We're having another low feedback moment, and it's thrusting out again. Well, it was just so then it will try 3 times before it stops. So with that, there's different screens we can also show. So it is basically faulted out completely. So what we want to do is we'll go back to our home screen, and we'll hit a reset button here, and we go in auto. We fix the wire, so now we're going above, and the pump is operating normal. We also have a couple other screens here. Besides this bar graph that shows you this, if you wanted to look at a gauge system, we've added that to you. So you can see that the drive is at 60 Hertz, and this is our PSI rating. And if I change the transducer feedback, we can notice how it increments up on the PSI. A little different way of looking at it. So one more increment up on the PSI, and then we're going to go into sleep mode. So with that, that's a quick introduction of how it's easy to set up and use PID with our H100 Plus for pumping. Has a lot of other capabilities, but today I just wanted to give you a quick overview. And also I'd like to say, if you have an application where you think you could use our new H100 Plus, please let us know. We're actually looking for good applications, and we will select one lucky application to receive a free H100 drive and a 4-inch HMI for your application. And we also will help with the assistance in starting it up. But with the capability of the drive capability, and also with the ability of the HMI and an easy menu, starting up has never been easier in a pumping application using PID. Thank you very much for your time. And you notice the pump is in the sleep mode, and with that, we are going to sign off. Thank you, and have a great day.